The Chinese have become completely insolent. They don't have enough copies of clothes, gadgets, household appliances, cars in the end, so they have already touched our hi-fi friends. To be honest, I have a very negative attitude towards such zeal of our communist brothers. Because this sphere, like elite jewelry, fashionable clothes, premium segment cars, must not only have serious quality, but also history, name. After all, it is possible to create a cool product, albeit difficult, but passing the test of time and making a brand fit into world history is an extremely difficult task. On the other hand, if we are talking about budget hi-fi, and on my desk there are representatives of this very niche, perhaps we can give the Chinese a chance and forgive them for the audacity of sticking their ubiquitous and hard-working little hands into the audio industry. Placing my hand on my heart, I had absolutely no desire to test, waste my precious time, and try out headphone amplifiers, particularly those from the Celestial Empire. And for at least several reasons. First of all, I do not really like listening to headphones themselves. I prefer full-fledged audio systems that provide a sense of sound and impact, not only for the ears, but for the whole body. Secondly, as I mentioned before, I don't trust the Chinese because my childhood was in the 90s, when the market was flooded with masses of cheap goods from China. Yes, now we understand that the matter was most likely not about the Chinese, and the blame lies with the people who ordered and paid for all this junk. When assigning a technical task requiring a high-quality tape recorder, allocate a budget equivalent to the cost of the recorder shelf. Well, you understand, good products can only be obtained with the presence of a miracle. Therefore, my friends, despite the abundance of technologically advanced branded products from China, I still have a bone to pick with them. As they say, the spoons were found, but the sediment remained. 2 unremarkable boxes, budget headphone amplifiers, D-Art. Do not confuse with Darth Vader. This is Canary 2 and Aurora 2. It's good that they worked on the brand name because the brand itself is called exclusively by the Chinese, in my opinion, an ugly word Yulong, which, by the way, does not translate into Russian. I entered the word Yulong into a Chinese translator and got no result. This was a lyrical digression. Let's get down to business and promptly open these boxes. Observe how everything is packaged and evaluate their external appearance, whether good or not very good. I'll tell you, as usual, it's truly amazing. Desktop DAC, Canary, as commonly known, despite its modest price, no less than 20,000 rubles currently, on paper provides many possibilities. On board is ESS 9238Q2M, fully discrete component DC input JFET, Class A headphone amplifier supporting headphones with impedance ranging from 16 to 600 ohms. High precision volume handle, you can really impress with its features for a very long time. However, we are aware that specialists from China tend to describe the advantages of their products. Nevertheless, in practice, as a rule, everything turns out not as rosy as it is portrayed. How does our proverb sound in words, "You are a lion fat," but in reality? You know the rest. So, conceal the canary. The frontal portion is excellent. In my view, it is of superior quality. The volume control knob moves flawlessly, smoothly going in and out without any issues or resistance. And such a minuscule stroke, shimmering with the brilliance of pure gold, delicately gracing the surface. And once again, this is a characteristic commonly found in Chinese products. I comprehend that for switching, all we need to do is press a button and the inputs will change. Now, let's take a look at what we have here. USB, which by the way is not very visible. Coaxial, optical, linear, DSD, and the ability to connect headphones. What annoys me about expensive speakers often when we take them out of the box and there are these silicone feet not glued. You need to install them on the columns yourself. But I understand that it is done because not everyone will need them. But here everything is clearly glued together in slots. Well done. Our second hero is the Aurora. Unfortunately not a cruiser, but just the next stage of the Canary with modifications and improvements. And here they also added such functions as implementation on a more serious chip ESS 9068AS, BSD 512, PCM 32 bits, 768 kHz, and in addition, hardware support for the beloved by audiophiles MQH8X. Also on board are two balanced outputs, power 4000 microvolts at 32 ohms and 375 microvolts at 300 ohms. For fans of blue, so to speak, there are teeth on board and a digital input via Bluetooth 5.0 with support for aptX and LDAC codecs. Okay, enough about the characteristics. Let's take a look inside. Maybe there is some traditional brick there. The items were packed just as well as before. I really appreciate using my favorite packaging material because it doesn't wrinkle or break during transit. Is it a manual? In Chinese, right? Unfortunately, I lack understanding of the Chinese language and cannot comprehend the content. The lungs are not sufficiently strong to blow out. We should throw him away from here. The same. Well, did you find the adapter? No, already from Yulong adapter. You see, after all, we managed to make our own adapter. Great job. Are you aware of its identity? This is an antenna for Bluetooth technology. She's just so small, unattractive. Although, on the other hand, it is of such a gilded color. And it's amazing. The USB cable is precisely identical to the one in the previous model. Even so, they might have already included something more significant. For instance, Nordost. Isn't that right? Haha. And this? Well, you know, right? Where should I insert this particular item? I am in need of an adapter. Well, let us take it out of the device. It is necessary to have the appropriate adapter for proper functionality. Heavier, significantly heavier, and significantly heavier. What is this? What is this? What is this? He is a recent addition, and there is an inexplicable object of indiscernible nature situated on the uppermost part. Well, what can I say, Chinese? The identical facade in essence, but in this location we already possess 3 headphone jacks and even have an input that is balanced. And do you know what kind of connector we have there, Netric? It's cool because even Nordost uses Netric, as far as I remember. At the level, he also managed to pass the test successfully and fulfill all the requirements. Well, see, yes? When comparing, notice the significant enhancements of the more modern, perfect model. Balance, yes. Added balance, but it's worth buying it just for that. Well, they are very similar. And on the rear side, obviously we possess identical legs as those found in the junior model, unpacked. In next vid we'll test. I'll be honest how they play. Stay tuned, pals. In terms of appearance, if compared to the same Cambridge audio, Duck Magic, I remember, was just as good as Cambridge. And even better to the touch. Watch our videos. Subscribe to our channel. We tell the absolute truth about technology. Goodbye, friends.